Morning, and thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast. It's the Tuesday edition, and we're here to give you all the information you deserve to know. I'm Ibrahim Shita.
Indeed, Nigeria, it is time for breakfast. Now, you could be anywhere, but you're choosing to spend your morning here with us on the TVC Breakfast Show. We are very grateful, and you are very welcome. I'm Olamide Ojekunle.
And the way you start your morning is very important because it determines how your day will go. On that note, a very good morning, Nigeria. Thanks for joining us. You know how we do it. We bring you all the updates. I am Ria Abdul, and of course, welcome to our show.
Good morning, Nigeria. At TVC, we examine issues objectively, comparatively to shape national conversations. Biodu Show is my name.
Of course. And that's it. It's another beautiful morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so funny how the days go fast. Yesterday we were just here talking. This morning we're here again.
I was told it rained last night.
It did.
Oh, it did rain every day.
I was told actually. I came out, I saw it rain. I had to ask, did it actually rain? Meaning that I enjoyed my sleep because I just had to sleep like a baby.
Olamide, how was your night?
I tell you guys what, I don't know how to put this, but rain in Ikoyi is very different from rain in Yaba.
Okay, it's okay, man.
Okay,
it's okay.
So because Ikoyi gets flooded, and Yaba, you find your way around.
Mr. Shomi, good night?
Yeah, it was a good night. I enjoyed the rain because I was able to, sleep soundly.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful that all of you enjoyed your night because I did not. I was preparing for the show this morning.
Oh, how diligent.
Come on.
How diligent, how hardworking.
Anyway, good morning once again, Nigeria. Thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you join us every morning. I'll give you a quick rundown. You know how we do it. At some point, Ibrahim will bring us all the headlines from the newspaper. We get to dissect it right here on this table. When we take you all the way to Abuja, we'll be speaking about elections. The FCTA will be talking about elections there. We will give you all that information in Abuja. And then we come back to Lagos for something very important. We'll be talking about the GDP. So you better, come close to your TV for this because it concerns every Nigerian citizen. And then the very beautiful Olamide will take us through everything happening in the world of social media and more. So it's definitely a very, very packed show this morning, and I advise you grab that cup of coffee. We'll start with the story where the Lagos State House of Assembly has invited leaders of communities affected by the demolition in Makoko and adjoining waterfront settlements to a meeting today. In a letter signed by the cleric of the House, Olalekan Onifeko, the meeting in response to the petition submitted by the communities over the demolition and eviction of residents. Olamide Adeyemi has more on this.
The Lagos State House of Assembly has reiterated that issues relating to infrastructure safety, power line setbacks and demolitions fall under executive and regulatory authorities and not the legislature, whose duties are lawmaking and oversight. This was reiterated following a motion raised under matters of urgent public importance by Honorable Ogudipe Stephen, the Chairman House Committee on Information, Strategy and Security, particularly regarding development in the Makoko area of Lagos State.
Whenever there are disagreements, that is when we have to move in to make sure that all the processes has to be done in tandem with the law.
On Wednesday, the 28th of January 2026, protesters marched to the State House of Assembly to express their grievances on the eviction notices and demolitions in Makoko. However, the protesters flatly rejected dialogue at the gate and insisted on gaining access into the assembly complex.
Please, I'm a comrade too. Let me talk to you first. I must stay there, comrade. When you talk, we talk. You know what? It's not in one way. No, sir. No, sir.
The safety of even honorable members on ground, we are no more guaranteed. So it was in the process when they disagreed and we have to move back that the law enforcement agencies have to take the necessary actions on ground then.
The House says assurances previously given during the January 15 engagement were not a blanket suspension directive, but a commitment to intervention through appropriate legislative channels.
At any point in time, people do come in here to have their protest, and we do accommodate them. But a situation whereby people are coming with the intention of destruction, then the law enforcement agents will have to move in.
The Speaker says the Lagos State House of Assembly remains committed to peaceful civic engagement, protection of democratic rights, and orderly and respectful dialogue. Leaders and stakeholders of the Makoko community are expected to meet with the House Committee on Business, Ethics and Privileges on Tuesday, February 3rd to discuss the demolition and eviction of residents at the Makoko community. Now, the House says it is open to receiving petitions and also hearing the grievances of Lagosians as long as it is within the purview of the law. Olamide Adeyemi, TVC News, Lagos.
All right, thank you so much, Olamide Adeyemi, for bringing, Olamide, I thought it was you, for bringing, for bringing this information to us. So, Mr. Shomi, I'll start with you. We all know that Makoko is one of the most unique waterfronts, we have in Lagos. And these people, when we talk about this settlement, Makoko is from the 80s. Makoko has been there. It started as a fish, place where people go to fish and all of that. And then it became a settlement where people started saying, these people, their livelihood is there. It happens there. Like, they do everything there. Some of them go to school there. I'm not even some of them. Most of them that live there go to school there. They trade there. Some of them are just there. They never even leave the place. Oftentimes, we've seen outreach. I remember the Tunde Okoya, when he took the chairs to the slump and he went to Makoko, it was a big deal where people spoke about it because most of them are less privileged. And then we saw the recent demolition and we saw how heartbreaking it was because these people, you're taking them from where they used to be, where they know as their livelihood, to a place that you've not even given them any relief. So they came out and they're protesting that, at the end of the day, what happens? What happens to us? I saw some of the videos of the demolition and these people are now living in very, very stringent places. The conversation that you're going to have today, how well do you see it happening and do you think that a proper settlement will be given to these people?
Honestly speaking, it's quite sad when you look at the fact that these are some of the most vulnerable people in our country. I mean, people are living in a subhuman existence. How do you describe it? But the fact of the matter is, government also has a responsibility to ensure that nobody lives in that kind of condition because it does not depict our country very well. It looks so bad when you go on the bridge and you see the way people are living, defecating in the same water, which they are drinking and also fishing in it. That cannot be right, obviously, in this century. Now, what I know personally is that if you move around towards Agbowa, Ikosi, towards Ejirin, Ketu Inekwe, a lot of facilities have been provided. The issue is whether it's convenient or for those people, whether they really want to move there, because they're used to it. It's their natural habitat. They don't want to relocate. If you go towards Agbowa, just immediately after Agbowa, there's a place they call Agbowa Owu. You'll find the Makoko, the Okoba, what do they call it? Plank dealers. They had a very good location, including accommodation provided. And many of them are reluctant to move to the place when in reality they have better facilities than what they have in Okwobra. In the same vein, go towards, from Itokin, go towards Ekpe, Ketu, opposite the government college, Ketu, you will see a huge storage, which has been constructed. I think it's nearing completion now, or maybe completed now, just next to the police station, which is good for those farmers, fish farmers, because if you don't sell your goods, you can easily get them stored there. And of course, Ejirin is very close to the place. Ketu is also by the lagoon. But the issue is this, I think it's about people are used to those places. They see it as their safe comfort zones and they don't want to relocate from it. I think that's the major issue which
Mr. Shomi, I'll definitely come back to you on that one because I do not agree. I know that these people were not given, a place to go because you cannot tell me that they'll prefer living on nothing rather than going to a place. But I'll come back to you on this one. Olamide, oftentimes they've said that, we don't have a problem, you want to take these people away from there. You want Lagos to look better. Oh, well, good. We all want Lagos to look better. But at the end of the day, these people that you are taking their livelihood from them, where are you putting them? Oftentimes, we've seen a lot of demolitions and we do not see, welfare for these people. The first thing that's supposed to happen is negotiation. Talk to them. But it seems like after the demolition is now when they're having all these conversations because of the petition.
Absolutely. Makoko is not just a settlement. Makoko is one of the most historically layered communities that we actually have in Lagos. When we look at the migration from Benin and Togo, when we saw a culmination and an amalgamation of different cultures, Makoko was where it happened. It's more than just a settlement. Unfortunately, Makoko is a textbook case and a textbook example of something that we like to call informal urbanization theory, which is essentially when a population grows faster than formal housing supply is able to keep up with. Makoko, there's also a problem with perception with areas like Makoko because Makoko is informal Lagos. That is what we call dual city theory. Essentially, there's this belief that Lagos operates with informal areas like Ikoyi, Victoria Island, Lekki, and more informal areas like Makoko, like dense mainland settlements. And this often affects how these areas are treated. What's happening in Makoko is property gentrification, whether we like to admit it or not. It's property gentrification. Makoko is not a problem to solve. Makoko is an asset to develop. And what I mean by that is that we have case studies worldwide. When we look at Venice, Italy, how these boats have been created in these waterfront cities. When we look at Netherlands, the floating water cities that they have, Makoko is not a problem to solve. It is an asset to develop. I often worry that areas like Makoko suffer because people are, and I wouldn't say the federal government here, but people are building Lagos for investors. They're not building Lagos for residents. My question now to anybody in power or an authority who is watching is, are we building a Lagos just for investors and powerful people and, you know, property bigwigs? Are we building a Lagos for residents and for people that matter on the ground? Makoko is everybody's problem to solve. You know, and I will just finally say that we have to support Makoko in this moment.
And Ibrahim, I saw a video as well of somebody just putting together how Makoko will look like, you know, if the federal government just put things in place. You know, you can turn Makoko to a tourist site. There's so many things you can do with that particular place. And that video really hit me because I'm like, what are we really doing? You know, oftentimes it seems like we're focusing on the wrong things rather than, you know, the positive things. We're focusing on something that will be a major tourist site in Nigeria.
Yeah, so I think that there is a turn between development at the expense of the needy, the poor, the have-nots, and gentrification. The government looking at, you know, developing the entire Lagos state, making it look so good, the waterfront and all of that. And the government also said it's about safety because of the high tension over them. But one thing is, if the government is eventually going to, you know, make that place, gentrify that place, make it look so good, so beautiful because of the waterfront close to, just adjacent the Third Mainland Bridge and all of that. Could it be that the high tension will no longer be a problem? Would they relocate the high tension, or would they move it backward, or put it to a safety, you know, direction and all of that? So you mentioned Venice. People often equate Makoko, not equate, compare Makoko, you know, with Venice. Maybe if we design that place very well, so much so that we still accommodate these people because of the life that the kind of food that they are able to invest from there, talk about fishing and all of that. So if they put proper structures there, maybe we'll have books, apart from The Merchant of Venice written by William Shakespeare, we'll have Merchants of Makoko, and then someone writing that kind of a book, and then it becomes internationally celebrated, you know, artwork. So one thing is the government should be considerate because we are beginning to see people defecating along the Third Mainland Bridge. The morning when you come, you know, from, I think we also saw one on our way back to the, so we see people coming from there and then defecating right in the median of Third Mainland Bridge. So it's so sad. So whatever it's going to be done, whatever conversation they're going to be having, they should also be people-centric because we do not have miscreants, nuisance, you know, spread across. I
think the word is people-centric because at the end of the day, the democracy is for the people, and the people are supposed to have, you know, a great time. The people are not supposed to suffer. So I'm just hoping that this particular meeting you're going to have today, you know, will come out with good outcome. Our time will have to go. Our time, just one. Drop something quickly.
We should also remember that there are also laws in this country which must be complied with. There are laws governing the distance between the lagoon or the Atlantic Ocean and where you can build properties. That's one.
That's right.
And I also think maybe government has not done enough explanation. Take people around the facilities they are building and let them see the opportunities. For instance, in Ketu and Nigeria, you know, for fish farmers, I'm sure maybe we have not done enough on that. So these are issues which the Lagos State government needs to explore with a view to sell the idea.
And true law is ethical.
That's right.
All right, we can go on and on about this. Quite a very, very sensitive topic, but we will take a breather now. And when we come back, Ibrahim is ready to give us all the headlines that have made it to the newspaper. Don't go anywhere. This is TVC Breakfast.